Some clowns are fun. Some clowns could be scary. And then there are some clowns that even kill. Hey everyone, John Lorden here with you today on another episode of Brain Scratch Case Cracked, and we are talking about real, true stories of killer clowns. Before we get started, I want to give a very big thank you to Christy Stracener, who helped research and co-write today's episode. She's also my associate producer. I really appreciate all your help on this, Christy. Thank you so much. Let's get started with killer clowns. Around Halloween last year, you may have noticed that in the media there was coverage of many cases of clowns terrorizing people, usually associated with no real crime, thankfully. But this year, clowns are back. They're once again popular, partly due to the recent remake of Stephen King's It. In early September, red balloons were being tied to sewer grates, seemingly in homage to the film. It caught the attention of law enforcement in Lidditz, Pennsylvania. In a Facebook post about the event, the department said, quote, "We want the local prankster to know that we were completely terrified as we removed these balloons from the grates, and we respectfully request they do not do that again." Local teen Peyton Riff eventually confessed to the prank, claiming she just wanted to scare some of her friends. But police all over the nation have been sending out scary/killer clown warnings, clearly stating that even pranks will not be tolerated. Are they taking things too far? Maybe not. Today we're discussing two real-life clown crimes and how they got cracked. Denver, Colorado, May 23rd, 2017. Denver police have arrested a man who was wearing demonic clown makeup after he allegedly stabbed and slashed a 29-year-old man to death with a glove that had blades attached to the end of each finger, kind of like a Freddy Krueger type glove. And that picture in the middle is the guy that we're talking about. Christian Lee Gulzo, 36 years old, is the vocalist for goth metal band The Paranormals and works at a local pizzeria. According to Christian, the victim actually attacked him and stole his scooter sometime after midnight. Their fight continued to the parking lot of Torchy's Tacos, and that is where the man was killed. A big problem with Christian's story is that there were multiple witnesses who say Christian was clearly the aggressor, and he has a bit of a criminal past to actually support that. He has multiple domestic violence, assault, and weapons convictions, including one in 2012 for menacing with a deadly weapon. He also fled the scene after killing the man, but police quickly found him, covered in blood. The murder weapon had been thrown into some bushes nearby. His father says that Christian lives with his mother, has been taking anger management classes, and may have been off his medications. Christian is currently facing a first-degree murder charge and awaiting trial. Florida, 1990. Marlene Twing was raised with clown art all over her house. Her parents still have an entire room dedicated to clowns and a painting Marlene did as a teenager of a clown's face. Several years later, Marlene was now Marlene Warren and lived with her husband Michael and her son Joseph in the ritzy Wellington Aero Club in South Florida. Described as a private aeronautical community, it has its own landing strip and taxiways that lead to each home, so residents can enjoy the luxury of flying right to their doorstep. Marlene was finishing breakfast with her son and his friends on May 26, 1990, when a white convertible Chrysler LeBaron pulled into the driveway and a clown emerged. The clown, wearing an orange wig with a red bulb nose and a painted-on smile, carried a bouquet of flowers and two balloons, one of which said, "You're the greatest." The clown offered the flowers and balloons to Warren. "Oh, how pretty," her son remembered her saying. Then the clown pulled out a gun and shot her in the face. As she crumpled to the ground, the person in the clown disguise calmly walked back to their car, which was missing a license plate, then disappeared for the next 27 years. Marlene died in a hospital 2 days later. Quote, "This is the strangest thing I've seen in all my 19 years in law enforcement," Bob Farrell, a spokesman for the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office, told reporters at the time. Marlene's husband owned a car dealership, but Michael Warren had been having an affair with Sheila Keene, a then 27-year-old recent divorcee who repossessed cars for his dealership. At the time, they both denied having an affair. Other employees told investigators that they frequently took long lunches together. It was also reported at the time that Michael had started paying Sheila's rent. Hours after the killing, workers at a costume shop called police and said a woman had bought a clown costume matching the description just 2 days earlier. They even picked Keene out of a photo lineup. Clerks at a local Publix grocery store near her home told investigators that a woman matching Keene's description bought flowers and balloons there about 90 minutes before the killing. The store was very close to Keene's apartment. Within a week of the killing, detectives searched her apartment, where they found fibers from a bright orange wig. They also collected hair samples of hers. The getaway car was ditched in a grocery store parking lot approximately 5 miles away from the crime. Once found, it also had orange wig fibers in it, and human hair was found as well. The car had been reported stolen from a car rental agency and was later linked to Michael Warren's car dealership. Despite all this very compelling information collected during the investigation, authorities felt like they didn't have enough hard physical evidence to make a conviction, so the case went cold and no charges were filed. The inquiry did lead to some trouble for Michael, though. He was sentenced to prison in 1992 on 43 counts of odometer tampering, grand theft, and racketeering. Apparently, he was trying to make some extra money with those used cars he was selling. He left South Florida after being released from prison after serving 3.5 years. The case lay cold until being reopened by the Sheriff's Department Cold Case Unit in 2014. After all these years, police learned a significant new detail about Michael Warren and Sheila Keene. They actually got married about 12 years after Marlene Warren's killing. They were married in Las Vegas, and they wound up operating a restaurant together called the Purple Cow in Tennessee while living in nearby Abingdon, Virginia. Sheila was now going by the name Debbie and had colored her hair blonde. Police hoped that advances in DNA analysis and re-interviewing key witnesses would lead to a break in the case. Luckily, it did, and they now say that they have the evidence to prove that the person disguised as a clown was indeed Sheila Keene Warren, the current wife of Marlene Warren's husband. While authorities won't release info on specifically what DNA evidence they have, many in media suspect it is a match on the hair fibers found in the car to the hair collected at Sheila's home, but that's just kind of the opinion floating around in media right now. I'm also curious about if there was any blood splatter. You would think with the clown standing that close to her, possibly some blood could have transferred somewhere. I'll be very curious to see what the details are of this information as the court case progresses. Sheila, now 54, was driving with Michael when they were stopped, and she was arrested by police. Michael was told the case is still ongoing when asked if charges against him would follow. David Ehrenberg, the Palm Beach state attorney, stated that Sheila would be extradited to Florida and he will seek the death penalty in this case. There is a court date set for next month. Sounds to me like they've got that case cracked. I know that we're missing a little bit of crucial information in terms of why they feel like they have it now. There was a ton of circumstantial evidence back in their original investigation. They are stating that DNA changed the game, so we do know there is something tied to DNA analysis that has given them what they feel like they need for a conviction in this case. And, there was some identification that had been made. We talked about the people at the costume store that recognized her in a picture. We talked about the Publix worker. There was a lot of pieces to this puzzle, but there wasn't quite something to really specifically put Sheila at the scene of the crime or to put elements of the crime in Sheila's possession. For example, as far as I know, the handgun has not been found. So I'm really going to be interested in seeing how this court case develops, and if there is any twists or turns that are significant, I'll be sure to let all of you know about them. I also wanted to mention that 2020 covered this case last Friday, October 20th, 2017. So if you want to check that out, you can see those episodes on Hulu. I'm sure there's a couple of other places online. Just remember, it is the 2020 episode from October 20th, 2017. I think they did a really good job. They interviewed the victims' parents, so you really get a good sense of what they have gone through in all of this. And I don't know, it's a very interesting case. I can't believe it's taken this long for justice to arrive, but hopefully the right thing will happen here. Thank you so much for spending some time with me on today's episode. I hope each and every one of you is having a great day, and I look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow on the Lord and Arts channel. Take care.